Tennessee. Tennessee's expensive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess
Depends on where you
Nashville.
live. Nashville, which is the big music scene. But prior to all of this, like we've seen Elon taking his companies in Texas, Joe Rogan going down to Austin, which has created an insane comedy scene down in the Austin area. Like those kind of big moves and those big shifts kind of have knock-on effects. So you see others like, oh, now it's safe to move on there. We've seen the same concept happen with Silicon Valley. Like they're building a new Silicon Valley down in Austin. So if you want to, like, as you're buying, buying those that Trump stock from his surviving, you wonder if like picking up some land down in Austin area would be still good.
Any land in Texas is a solid investment. That's only going to go up over 10 years.
Yeah, and then some. And but then Florida and Nashville, so they've also tried to put out, hey, we're going to build out our own Silicon Valley base, coders stuff, out there in Nashville or at least Tennessee, because you get
good.
Yeah, you get that. You get
I was
a
gonna
lot
say,
of entertainment. Like that, Nashville's an interesting choice. I've been out there and it's a wonderful town. Like I loved it. It was great. You get to go
Nashville's
dancing,
awesome.
tons of music, and it's just
even if you pop into like the dumpiest dive bar you can find, they will have like professional football stadium quality sound.
Yeah.
Like all of the music in Nashville is insane. What was I gonna say? Oh, Big Tech moving to Texas is cool, but I want to see him come north a little bit more. Like all that electricity, all that heat, the cold air would be good. Be much more cost effective, I would think.
Yeah, data center wise for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Put that down in the smoldering heat in Austin, like you're just begging for a power outage, right?
Yeah, we had that with the big old freeze too, not too long ago.
What was that? The Great Freeze 2020?
That was
2021.
Insane, dude. How did the Great Freeze treat you?
I didn't care at all. I was out driving. I grew up in Minnesota, dude.
Oh, okay. So you're.
I was out driving that day. I was getting mad on the interstate because y'all didn't have salt trucks. I was like, why didn't you have trucks salting? Oh, you guys don't. It doesn't snow here. That's why.
Yeah. We have a few, and so one of the things that was interesting is that the last time there was a freeze, and it wasn't as bad as the big one. But there was a massive freeze that, and it was right at the Super Bowl when the Super Bowl was going to be at the Cowboy Stadium. So any and all salt trucks, any and all road equipment was prioritized for the Super Bowl, so people could get to it because they didn't know if they would be able to. Like there was a question where they might have to cancel the Super Bowl because people can't get to that. So me and my wife for that one were stuck inside, no kids that time. For 4 days, and after 4 days, like we finally were able to start like making progress to go outside, and it was like, oh man, that was rough. And then it became even worse when you had 6 kids trapped in and couldn't go outside because the big freeze. Like man, I tell you, there was you run out of
use
home
the bathroom. Let me in.
That you have like we're trying to conserve power, so it's not like we're like okay, we're not gonna be all right, kids, just watch a movie because it's literally negative 20 degrees outside. I'm in the attic the whole time, and we thankfully had power pretty much the entire time, but I'm in the attic with a hair dryer trying to defrost, keep the pipes from freezing. Yeah, so we were running water, but it was still that cold.
I was gonna say leave a drip.
Yeah, well, the problem we ended up having was that because it kind of happened, we were running the water, but the water heater is in the garage. It's one of those tankless, and so it was dripping, and then
the garage drip, insulated.
Yeah, and but still, that's like it was still negative 6 degrees in the attic, despite all this because it was that crazy. But it was dripping, and then the drip pipe was freezing, and so eventually the drip became ice, and it was like so I had to try to defrost that,
chip that off, get the hair
dryer. And then I had to, the old like you ever want to siphon some gas, like I had to go get a hose, and then essentially create my own additional drip line throughout out of the garage and into the street, which was just absolutely insane. Oh my gosh.
Little MacGyver engineering though, right?
That's panic engineering right there. It's like, oh gosh, oh no. And then like all that time, like on anything on social was like, here's this house, and pipes are just water's running out of the roof and ceiling, and it's just like, Okay, let's not have that happen.
Let's see that temperature go up. Come on now.
Come
Let's
on.
get some sun.
Come on. Yeah, so that's the both freezes. It's like there's not a lot. Oddly enough, not a lot of game time. Not a lot of electricity. Which is like, well, all right, I'm playing my handheld for a little bit.
But hey, maybe the PC gets running, that heats up a little bit, provides some warmth.
That's right, dude. That's the other thing.